What's up, pastors? Today I take you to another place that's abandoned. Everything and anything abandoned. This here is Frick's Locks Village. Let's get to the history. While some buildings date from the American Revolutionary War era, this ghost town was named Frick's Lock after the Schuylkill navigation canal that ran through a farmland acquired from a man named John Frick around the early 1820s. Canal traffic declined toward the turn of the century and gave way to the railroad. The canal was filled in starting in 1942, and the railroad eventually declined. In the 1960s, the then PECO, Philadelphia Electric Company, began the process of building the Limerick Nuclear Power Station across the river from Frick's Lock. During the project, PECO acquired all the surrounding land that included Frick's Lock. There are conflicting stories as to the residents being bought out and relocated nearby, or just a 48-hour notice of forced eviction. In the late 1990s, Paul S. Frick, in an effort to preserve the property and his family history, began gathering all the historical information. Paul paid all the cost and work that led to the property being listed on the National Register of Historic Places on November 21st, 2003. What's up, my pastors? Today, we are in a location in Pennsylvania. Today, we bring you here to Frick's Locks, which this dates back to our American Revolutionary period, all the way up to the 20th century, where people had actually left this little village due to the fact of a nuclear plant that is running, I think, behind me here, near the property that they had bought this area. I can't really show you guys the nuclear power plant because it's too much leafage, wooded areas, stuff like that. But if you're really quiet, you can actually hear it. Listen. It looks like Springfield. That's behind me. You can barely see it if I can get it here real fast. It's right in the midst of all this right here. There's like a power plant funnel. Now, this is going to be a smaller video due to the fact of a few factors. One is you see 3 houses behind me here. They are abandoned. And another one on the other side of this little path. That's also abandoned. This village is technically abandoned, but it's owned privately by the company, I believe, if I'm right. It's owned by the nuclear power plant here in Limerick, Pennsylvania. And here seems to be another problem. Now, when I'm walking down this way, there's a little path and a gate. And if you see right there, that's another older house, if I'm correct. And there's a few more down a path there. But here's the deal. Okay, now you see this and you ask me, PLE, why are you making a deal about this? Well, because for one, that right there, it is private property owned by a company. That kind of intimidates me, for one. They got the power, they got the money. And for two is, if you look on some of these buildings, there are cameras. They do their due diligence on this area. They watch this place like a hawk. And of course, very much so they should, because it drew a lot of vandalism and stuff over the years. And look, people like me don't like seeing vandalism myself. Fortunately, I'm one of those urbexers who respect the properties and stuff, even though if I am exploring them. But there's some cases I do have to draw my line, and this is one of them. So I just don't want to be that person, you know what I mean? So I'm going to show you guys this one first. Now, if you really pay a bit of close attention here, you see something's out of place. Really kind of odd. Let me take you a bit closer. Still odd? And a bit closer. Those windows seem to be bulging out. So is that door. This framework is weird. And so are these. They're kind of bulging out. Well, because these are actually fake. They boarded the doors and windows up. That daggone freaking bird scared the human heck out of me. Look, some deterioration of the real building itself here. But they wanted you to get a really good visualization of what it looked like, necessarily, without making it look all tacky with boards, posted, you know, do not trespass. Just really old, weathered things, you know. So, but there is one up here we can actually look inside. That's another indication that I take whenever I see places, is if these meters are still up or not. Now you may say, well, if this is a turn of the century, if this is an American Revolutionary period place, and how comes you see meters, electric meters? Well, this place didn't go abandoned until the 20th century. I believe around 1960s or so. Don't know for sure, but it's around that part. So the late 19th century, it went abandoned because there's a thing that was talked about that they don't know if the village was bought out and relocated elsewhere, like some other small towns that went abandoned did, or if they were forced out, because that's also, in our American history, that's also been the case as well. So they don't know this for sure, but what I do know is that there has been a lot of money, roughly $3 million have been put into this to restore these buildings enough, and whatever else they do with it. But this is property, I believe, owned by the company, the nuclear plant company. And they were gracious enough to not knock them down, but to actually leave what is here. I think there were more houses here. It's incredible. See, that one looks older than this one. And then this one looks older than that one. But who knows? Let's take a look around. It is pretty strange to keep these fake windows on these old buildings like this. This is something that, as an explorer, you don't get much of. You don't see much of, but hey, this is something you don't really see much of, but hey, I'm all about the unique experience. I'm all about the unique places, and this would have to be one of them, even though if it's not a huge place. Mind you, I am very realistic about places that we go, and this is small, but it's nice to check out for sure. Look at this. Looks like they knocked out part of the porch area here. But you see, I don't think the place would look half as good if it was tacky like this. So I'm kind of glad they did put up some fake doors and windows. Wonder if you can actually see inside. Oh man, not gonna be able to. There's a weird smell in there. And we're gonna take a walk down by the gate here in a minute. Now you can see with some of the fake windows there, there's a ventilation thing there, a ventilation panel. So at least they're allowing some air to go through the building to cause it less rot. The back really isn't all that impressive, but hey, old houses do have character. They cemented this one and a window. And they put like a modern door there. Which you already know, it's locked. Well, not that part of it, but it's dead bolted. And this one here looks colonial. Of course, this one here behind me does look colonial, but don't quote me on that. I'm still, look, I just explore things, you know. I take as I go. Let's walk up here. Let's see if we can see inside. I just stepped in a freaking pothole there. I can see in there, but these windows are really dirty. See if we can look into another side. There's Shani's Unexplainable Adventures running away from me. Woman.
You'll never find me.
Where'd she go? Clouds? I think she's a night cloud right there. Maybe that one. No, gotta be this one. Huh. Let's look in this. Well, you kind of see more so in this one. Except for my beautiful face there.
You'll never find me.
She's still hiding.
I'm gone.
You're God.
I'm gone. I've got my Harry Potter cloak on. You'll never find me. Ever.
These freaking British people with their freaking cloaks.
I'm the bestest hide and seeker in the world.
Oh, she did. She disappeared. Where'd she go? How'd I get here? Oh, oh look, you actually see it now. Out from where I was, you can actually see the power plant now. There's that building. See right there? Of course, all over this place, you can see those two massive towering buildings just spewing out. Just spewing out freaking clouds. I've only seen one of them. I think the other one's behind it. Let's look around this one. This one looks pretty freaking cool. I really do wish I can get inside of these though. It's more rusted from the weather. Rusted, listen to me. It's more weathered. Another ventilation panel. I don't know what they call them. Yeah, more. That's always good to see. That means they're taking care of this place. That is really cool. These guys up here, they're well, let's go up to this one here and look more at that one. You see odd people all around, don't you? Oh, this one's nice. See what I mean? So if you're here, be careful because there are cameras. And of course what they did was they added facilities here, bathrooms, so you can just enjoy this place because it's also a walking trail and a bike trail as well. Wonder what the back looks like. Well, actually, let me take you up front. See if we can see in this window. Windows are still too dirty. Can't see in there. But yeah, like I said, this place is kind of smaller in its area, whatever. So, with these bikers behind me, bikers, I mean bicyclists. And here's another camera. You know, if I was watching footage of this myself, working for this company, I see me in the camera, I would have to watch this. There goes those two guys. They were taking pictures of me just a minute ago. I'll take a picture of them, how about that? No, they weren't causing me any harm or nothing. I'm just always somebody that's just, you can pick them out of the crowd, you know. Of course, I don't mind. Take all the pictures. And great weather too, by the way. Taking another look at these buildings, I believe that roof is collapsing. Looks a bit bowed. There it is, the nuclear power plant. Massive towering buildings. Okay, so we're gonna walk down here to the gate. I know damn well, physically I can't just jump this fence. I'm not really going to anyways. But here's one of the buildings. This is older, of course. Probably the same era, maybe not, maybe older. And apparently, there used to be an old canal that ran through here. And then the canal was actually filled in. And then the railroad, and this place really had no other means of transportation besides cars. But I imagine this one here was probably burnt, vandalized in some way. It's probably why they had to go fence things. So way to go, vandalists. You freaking vandals, you ruined everything because you had to put this up and the gate because people like me can't take you guys into places like this because you vandalize. Thank you. We thank you all. It looks as if, though, on the maps, that this is not the only house down here. There are more in the brushes down over here, and past there's a few more, which would be cool to look at someday. Maybe someday I'll come back and this gate will be open. Guys, thank you for coming with me on this journey today. This is an awesome little village. Hope you've enjoyed this and everything. So if you would like, hit that subscribe button. And as again, come along for the journey. Stick another one.